And we are live, No Chill Live, 124 November, Scorpio season. We back.
Hey. Day of the Dead today. But we living, we live. Let's go.
We living, we live. We got Julian here, we got Bryan here, we got Troy here. We back.
In the building.
This is my cousin Cash, yo.
Oh.
That Al Bundy. We back, guys. Welcome back. We know you missed us. We missed you.
That's right. That's right. Make sure you follow, subscribe. Thanks for joining us. If you've been rocking with us for a while, then we are really happy to see you again. And we're on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. Anything you can think of, we're there. And make sure you also catch the podcast on Spotify and YouTube Music and Google Podcasts while it's still around.
Yes, sir. We are back. We are live. It's November. The year flew by, but y'all stuck with us, and welcome our new subscribers as well.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
man. You know, last time we got you all ready and prepared for Halloween. You know, Halloween happened yesterday, man. It happened yesterday. We had Halloweekend beforehand. I feel like it's been Halloween for like a week straight, so I'm all Halloween down. I didn't even dress up.
You and me both. Oh, Genzino said, "What's up? The braids are back. Braids are back, man.
Hell yes, the braids are back.
Looking good. Looking really good.
Thank you. Yes, Cornrow Julian is back at the end of 2023. You know, my mom hooked me up. Yo, shout out to Hair by Jen Graham.
Shout out to Mama Graham.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope because, you know, my hair is blonde on the end. So when I cornrow it back, I'm a brunette again. So, you know, best of both worlds. But yeah, man, we ended the year strong. Strong as fuck before we hit the holidays.
That's
man.
right. That's right. Yeah, so Halloween came and went. And just like you, I also did not dress up. I will say my costume did arrive on time for the good weather this past Saturday. It was 80 degrees in Jersey, New York City area, and unfortunately did not get a chance to take advantage of that because my other half, her costume did not arrive. It did not arrive on time. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks. So it didn't arrive at all? Not even...
No, it came on Sunday.
Oh, shit.
But by then, it was 50 degrees. It's like, no, I'm good.
And you were going to be a monk, and she was going to be a nun, right?
That's right. You know, I told somebody that, and they were like, oh, well, if you were being the monk, like, or the priest, maybe she should have dressed up like a little boy. I was like, whoa, what are we doing right
Spooky.
Here? Oh man, it was bad, but that was a good joke. Shout out to Magley, but yeah, it was a nice weekend either way. I relaxed. How about you?
That's nice. I was out in the city. You
Yeah.
know, I was out in Jersey City and New York, both, but I didn't dress up at all. But I did, you know, get to check out that new spot, you know, Casa, the Lobo.
That's
you know,
right.
House of the Wolf.
Man, you better start getting comfortable saying them Spanish words, bro. You can't be dating the Latinas and talking about Casa de Lobo. Like, let's get it. What about you, Troy? What were you up to, man?
Yeah, Troy had the fun plans this weekend.
Yeah, no, this weekend I was pretty busy. Friday, I went to a drive-in movie theater. I took my fiance up there. We saw a double feature horror movie of Five Nights at Freddy's and then The Exorcist Believer, which is pretty fun. Five Nights at Freddy's, I know I hyped it up. It was a fun movie. Definitely worth checking out. You know, it's I think it's streaming on Peacock as well. And then Exorcist Believer, which was a terrible Exorcist movie, but a okay, I guess, horror movie.
Okay. What does that mean? Like, clarify, please.
So, you know, being a direct sequel from one of the most iconic horror movies in The Exorcist, this being a direct sequel, it was awful. Everything they did just felt like one of those, like, I think they call them requels, where they kind of like, it's like a sequel reboot where they take historic legendary characters, they do them dirty, they kind of don't have any original ideas and just build off of an already existent existing audience, and it's just subpar and just falls flat. No originality, and that's what this movie kind of felt like.
That's a good review. But you know what I really want to hear? The live audience, the live like orchestra show that you went to. Tell us about that because it looked pretty dope.
Yeah, that was awesome. So Saturday, the next night, we went to NJ Pack where they were playing Jurassic Park, and they had the live orchestra there, which was incredible. You know, Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies, and it influenced me ever since I was like 5. Yeah, and I think it's John Williams, the GOAT, amazing composer. You know, he did that, and just seeing it live, like it felt like it was like magic. You know, me, my fiance, and my friends, we all dressed up as iconic characters from Jurassic Park, and just had a great time. It was awesome.
Ooh. Oh, shit. Is this a theme? I gotta skip. Oh, man. Troy, you're gonna cry.
This is bringing back memories, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. As a kid, Jurassic Park was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Like dinosaurs. What little kid doesn't love the idea of dinosaurs? You've got toy dinosaurs and things like that, and then to see it on the big screen.
Iconic.
Yeah,
I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah, I gotta love Jurassic Park 2. I love it so much I did not go see Jurassic World or any of those movies.
Good.
Oh, you didn't want to ruin the image of the original, huh?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Speaking of the image, you dressed up.
I did. I dressed up as Sam Jackson's character. You know, I had a real cigarette. You know, the whole lab coat and everything.
Did you smoke the cigarette?
No, absolutely not.
It wasn't authentic enough. That's pretty dope, man. Damn.
Yeah.
So you had a whole, fulfilled Halloween weekend. You dressed up.
Yep.
You went out, did the scary movies. I don't like those remakes either when they just kind of. I guess the new Exorcist movie would be good for someone who's new to the whole franchise type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Five Nights at Freddy's, I watched that movie. It was okay. It was definitely a fun movie. I'd agree with Troy on that, but ultimately, it's not scary at all, but it's a little bit funny. Some themes from the 90s, anyone who's gone to, Chuck E. Cheese or anywhere with animatronics, like it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
They have some good, interesting like killing scenes and stuff, but overall it's just like doesn't make too much sense. But yeah, I didn't dress up this year, guys. Did you guys dress up? Let us know in the comments. What were your costumes? We were trying to predict the most popular costumes that people would wear this year. I was out a little bit in Jersey City on Saturday. Shout out to Hudson Hall, one of my favorite spots in JC. They play all the UFC fights, the Knicks games, the football games, college football, everything. And they had a great deal now on game days. They do 20 wings for $20, which I really appreciate.
That's a good deal.
And $5 drafts. So shout out to them. But this one girl, she was wearing a costume I really appreciated. She was wearing a box, right, around her body. Mm-hmm. And she had on a lampshade on her head, and that fucking lampshade that lit up when she pulled the string.
Yeah,
and on top of the box, she had like a bra, an alarm clock. She was a one night stand. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a good one. I always like that one. It takes a lot of work to pull it off.
Yeah,
because you got to have a battery pack, like for that light that you turn it on or something. But
Brian's like,
that's dope.
I love one night stands. Turn them into brunch night stands.
Listen, no, don't start them narratives. All right, that shit was almost 10 years ago. Over here aging myself, but yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I did watch a couple movies myself as well.
Okay.
One of them was Let the Right One In. Have either of you guys seen that? Yeah, it's pretty good. Basically, this kid who's getting like bullied and stuff meets this girl who moves into an apartment building. It's all in like whatever that Swedish language is, Svetka or something like that. But basically, the girl that moves in is a vampire.
Oh.
And she starts killing people. She has like a caretaker that starts killing people. He gets caught. Like it's pretty good though. It's entertaining.
Is she hot? Is she a hot vampire?
No, not at all. She's like stuck in the body of a 12-year-old child.
Oh no, that's weird.
Yeah, but it works for them because he becomes like her friend, and it just shows like the personal side of what a vampire could be going through.
I mean, The end of Twilight, like he ended up dating like a 12-year-old. So, well, that was the werewolf, right?
that was the werewolf.
Spooky.
Yeah. And then the other movie I watched was Let Him Go, which was basically like.
Were those like right next to each other in like the browser?
No,
like the one.
No,
like,
they weren't. You know, I looked up like scary or horror movies, and Let Him Go was there, but it's more of like a drama movie where it's Kevin Costner and Diane Lane, but basically their son gets killed in like a horse riding accident, and they have the like daughter-in-law living with them along with their grandson. But then the daughter-in-law, she has to find like a husband. She finds some guy that comes from like this criminal family in the Midwest, and then he basically just takes her and the kid. And they're like, well, this is our grandson. We need to find them and like bring the boy home. And things turn left. But it was pretty good. I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to find movies you enjoy, especially on Halloween.
Especially movies I haven't seen before. Like I feel like I've watched so many movies and then forgotten more movies than I've watched somehow. It doesn't make sense, but it happens.
I mean, I feel the same way, man. But a lot of movie stars, they dressed up. Well, actually, the actors aren't allowed to dress up because they're still on strike. So
are they not allowed? I mean, there's definitely people dressing up though.
There's some, but a lot of actors can't. I know Megan Fox was outspoken, and she didn't want to comply. She and Machine Gun Kelly dressed up as Kill Bill. But hey, whatever. I didn't see a lot of other actors dressing up, but actually I did. I saw Bradley Cooper. How do they even know if you have a mask on if you dress up or not? But a lot of people did dress up, man. Yeah. You know, Ice Spice, you know, the girl of the year.
Boop.
She was Betty Boop, man, and she looked great.
She did look good.
I think Ice Spice won Halloween this year.
I don't know why she kept trying to pull that dress down. Like, listen, you wore it that way for a reason. Know what people are at your concert to see.
She was performing, man. She had to perform. Someone actually gave Ice Spice a Bible after that performance as Betty Boop. But shout out to Ice Spice. I thought she won Halloween, but a lot of other people dressed up too, man. You know, Don Lemon, we talked about him. He dressed up as Kamala Harris, bro. Like,
I mean, if there was any question of who was on the bottom, he made it clear. Him and his partner, they did it up. They pulled this costume off though. It looked really good. Shout out to Don for remaining relevant.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. I mean, like I thought he looked a lot like, you know, a woman in this. I was like, wow, he had some good makeup artists.
Yeah, he had the pantsuit going. It was working out.
Yeah,
it was working.
Yeah, who else had some good costumes this year?
Janelle Monáe's, she dressed up as a chameleon, and this looks like a real human-sized chameleon. Like I don't know how much time and effort she put into this. She looked like she could have been in the Avatar movies, but not as like a CGI person, like a real person. It was thorough. And then also The Rock. He dressed up as David Beckham.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was inspired by that wax figure that they made. It was white in Europe, and they were like, "Hey, I really should be a white guy for Halloween," and he did it.
That's interesting. Yeah, I also saw DeAndre Jordan was Taylor Swift.
Oh, wow! Did not expect that, but it does take a tall person to be her for sure. Just I need to look up that picture now. What did it look like?
Bro, he looked a mess. He had a blonde wig on. He had the Chiefs jersey or Chiefs jacket on. And I think he was blasting Taylor Swift, you know, dancing in the parking lot on the walk up to the game.
Oh, my God. You know who he really does look like, though, is...
Dwight Howard? No.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's a crazy stray. But no, I was gonna say Donna Kelsey, the mom, because
shit. That is disrespectful.
The jacket that he has on, like typically he's got like a yellow and red jacket, but it made me first think of like how she wears split eagles and Chiefs stuff all the time.
Stop thinking about Donna Kelsey, man.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yo, Diddy, he was the Joker last year, and Warner Brothers said, yo, you cannot be the Joker this year. Like, you're banned from being the Joker. Like, that headline went out yesterday. He was causing chaos in the streets of Hollywood, confronting, like, Tyler, the Creator. Nobody knew. He almost got in a fight in the streets with that one guy who was in power. But this year, he said...
Amari Hardwood?
No, some other dude. Some other guy. It was like a thing. He didn't know it was Diddy at first, and then he kind of shifted after he knew.
Got it.
But this year, he said, okay, I'm done being the Joker. Now, I'm Batman.
I don't know why they starting shit with him. I mean, listen, Diddy could be a great actor. I would love to see Diddy in a movie.
Okay.
I really would.
I would not. But he had a great Batman outfit. I mean, I'm jealous. I mean, I felt like...
He had the authentic Batman outfit. That's why they mad. They're like, you took this out of the museum. Fucking put it back right now.
That's rich people shit. I mean, I think he was a good Joker. I dressed up as the Joker a couple of years ago, and it was a lot of fun. I might do it again. I still have the costume. Coming up in the next couple of years. Who knows? Yeah. But... I wasn't banned by Warner Brothers, but growing up, I always wanted to be Batman, so I was a little bit jealous of his bat suit. I feel like if I had that bat suit, I'd wear that shit every day, not just on Halloween. But then they'd probably lock me up somewhere. I don't know.
You did used to be a really big Batman fan. I remember that.
Hell yeah. I actually was Batman when I was a kid. Like I had a Batman costume. I was a Power Ranger. I was a bunch of things, but I feel like Halloween is for the kids originally. I did see a bunch of kids out yesterday. I didn't give out any candy at all, as I said. But shout out to all the children. I hope they had a good time. Hope no syringes were in your trick-or-treat bags, as Brian was talking about.
No pills, no perks, none of that kind of stuff. Healthy candy only that rots your teeth out.
Healthy candy. That's funny. I mean... Yeah. But yeah, I hope everyone had a safe Halloween.
For sure.
I know Nick Cannon, he managed to celebrate Halloween with all his baby moms somehow.
Yo, that man is
your birthday twin.
Talented. That's right. Libra gang. But he had different costumes. He was doing like wardrobe changes and everything. First he dressed as a honeykeeper.
Oh my God.
With how many kids? 3 kids with one of his baby moms. Then he dressed up as a wolf with one of his other baby moms. And
you didn't even know their names.
No, it's not important.
Baby mama number 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that important. But listen, shout out to Nick Cannon. Y'all could say what you want about him having a dozen kids. They're cheaper by the dozen for him. All right.
That's a nice way to look at it. I mean, we talked about him doing pregnancy shoots with all his baby moms, and I said that was a little bit ridiculous. And you said he has to do it. You do it with one, you got to do it with everybody. Is that the same thing for every goddamn holiday for the rest of his life?
Listen, all I know is that they better have some really dope family reunions because it's gonna be crazy, and those kids are gonna have to know who each other are because once they have kids, it could get dicey. It could get real dicey. Like you're going to all have to sign up for Ancestry.com so that there's no overlap, no like nasty incestuous behavior.
Bro, I did not expect this to turn to incest this early, but hey.
Spooky. Ooh. Day of the Dead. Like whatever you want to call it. All right.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
I'm just saying as a man, you got to think about the future and the legacy for your children. And that's part of it.
Okay. There are some other costumes out there. Khloe Kardashian, she was a Bratz doll with Kim Kardashian and some friends, and people were saying, she looked a little suspect. She was, looked like a black woman. The comments said Khloe dressed up as a black woman for Halloween, and I don't know if you saw the pictures. It was posted on her story just before the live, but hey.
I mean, she's been doing this for the last 10 years, so why are they upset now? I don't understand. This whole family has been doing this for the last 10 years and then trapping black men in the process. Like, this is what they do.
Yeah. I mean,
I will say Kim looks great.
bro, look.
Yeah, I see. I see it. I'm looking at it.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's towing the line. I thought it was funny. Khloe will do anything for attention.
Of
Because
course.
she doesn't have much of a personality. I mean, if you have black kids, does that make it okay to do something like this?
No, it doesn't. But she made it just light enough where it's like maybe she had a really good tan. Like I don't know. What do you do with these people that are so rich and they have all these babies with black guys and stuff, and they make their whole famous life off of this type of lifestyle? They get big lips, they get big boobs, they get big butts. They do everything so that they can look back black without taking on the responsibility of being a black person in America. That's just reality.
I mean, I looked at this picture and I laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think people are blowing it up. It's nothing different than what she's been doing for the last decade.
It's nothing different than, Kendall giving the cop a Pepsi, to stop the protest.
That commercial was crazy.
It's one of my favorite commercials ever.
She needs to take that to Israel and Palestine. Listen.
Oh my God, are you saying that's gonna
international stage? Listen, let's take it there.
Bro, are you saying that's gonna end the conflict in Gaza? Just if Kendall Jenner goes over and just hands him a Pepsi, that's gonna stop the Israelis from genocide right now.
Listen, it can't make it worse. It would be more than what the U.S. government's doing. So,
U.S. government is doing a lot, but hey, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there in the war.
For sure.
All the wars around the world. It's crazy. I saw that clip you posted about, who was that from the White House? And his tone is very different.
One of the ambassadors or something. This dude is sick. What's his name? I don't even remember right now.
But yeah, it's terrible. Things are happening. We also got some more bad news, man. Matthew Perry, a.k.a. Chandler from Friends, man, he died in his jacuzzi. I think that was Saturday, man. He was very young. What was he, like 54 years old?
Yeah.
54 years old. I don't think he had any children or anything like that. But, sad, man. What's even a little bit more sad, I saw Friends fans like leaving flowers like at the Friends house, like not even like the set, but like outside of the exterior. And I thought that was a little bit weird. I mean, we know Friends fans go to like the Friends house to take pictures in the fake set and like, pretend to be like lifting the couch up in the stairwell and things like that. But I thought that I didn't realize the fan base until this moment. I'm like, damn, people must really kind of think that shit is real. But I guess people cope the way they cope, and when something sudden like this happens, I guess that's how they feel like they should react.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, listen, it was definitely a surprise. There's still more information that's coming out right now about the body and the investigation that's going to go into, the cause of death. Like right now, it's a suspected drowning, but they're saying he wasn't even in the water for like an extended period of time when he was found. So I don't know. There's more information that's going to come out. I just hope that his friends, family, friends, no pun intended, but I should have just kept going. Friends and family, I hope that, they're supported and uplifted during this time because, he was a guy that was by himself. No spouse, no children. Sad stuff.
Yeah, it is sad. I wasn't a fan of the show personally, but I've watched it a bunch of times, back in the day. It would be on. But yeah, it's still sad, someone that we all know and recognize. And it's creepy to see the way the media has been kind of milking it ever since he passed away. But yeah, there's not one show I could think of I'm a fan of that I would actually like go to the place. Like I love Seinfeld. You're not going to see, if Jerry Seinfeld dies, I'm not going to go leave flowers by that like cafe. because I know it's not real. But you know, people
be real invested in celebrities and these characters that they follow for. Friends was around for a decade, so
yeah. Were you a fan of Friends at all?
No.
Troy, did you ever watch?
Never watched.
No, I never really watched it. Not my thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a white people show.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Speaking of white people, Taylor Swift. T
Swift. She better start going to them games again. The Chiefs got smacked by the Broncos of all teams. Oh my God.
Bro, you know the division games, they're always a coin toss, but hey, yeah, she wasn't at the game and they lost. They are putting up those stats now, those we thought the LeBron stats are bad. Now we got the Taylor Swift stats. Like, what are we doing here?
Nah, but something is not right about the fact that Travis Kelce plays 2 times better when she's at the game versus not.
Man, something's not right about the whole situation. But Taylor Swift is now a billionaire officially.
Woo! Big bag. Shout out to T Swift.
Yeah, Bloomberg reports that she's worth now $1.1 billion thanks to a record-breaking Eras tour that helped boost the U.S. economy this summer. So we talked about her
a lot of credit.
I mean, she did. I mean, we saw the impact in traffic she had here in Jersey and Philly. Like
traffic, how they had Congress talking about the ticket prices for resale and shit like that. Yeah,
of course, made waves. So you talked about her almost being a billionaire. Now it's a fact that she is a billionaire. It's funny because I saw this news. And then shortly thereafter, I know you watch or listen to the Kelce Brothers podcast, even way before this Taylor Swift shit was happening.
Yeah.
And they pulled a clip when he had Mama Kelce, who you shouted out earlier today. They had her on, and Travis was saying, like, I need to find a breeder. I need to make grandkids so you'll love me. And she laughed and like, oh, I'll always love you. But he said he wanted to find a breeder.
A breeder? That's wild to say on a podcast, but I feel you.
Bro, you said she was almost a billionaire, and I said, he needs to shoot for them ovaries. Do you think that it's a coincidence that he mentioned finding a breeder, then months later he makes a friendship bracelet for Taylor Swift, and then now he got her in the press box, man. Do you think that he found his breeder? Do you think he is shooting for them ovaries?
Listen, I think that Travis Kelce is a smart guy. He's been on the dating market, and he's been unsuccessful in finding somebody in the minority community. Let's put it that way.
Don't put that on the minorities.
No, I'm not putting it on us. I'm just saying he hasn't found who he wants in the minority community. So now he's like, you know what? Let me shoot for the stars and land on the clouds. And he shot for Taylor Swift, who at the time, I think when we first spoke about her, she was worth like $800 million. And now in the span of essentially a month, she's worth $1 billion. I know she had like her album that she re-recorded and it sold like a shit ton of copies and stuff like that. But I'm guessing that's what kind of pushed her over the edge, along with her other things that she's doing, commercials and her exposure with the NFL. Like I'm sure there's a variety of reasons of how she got there.
It's also her movie. They put the Eras tour out in theaters a couple weeks ago. That shit hit $100 million in box office.
That's crazy.
In a weekend. We haven't seen that in a blockbuster. I mean, we did, I think, for a couple of movies, but since COVID, for real movies, it's been really rare. So for her to do that with a concert is insane.
Dude, they're saying that her re-recorded album, 1989, has sold over 1 million albums in a week, and it's the 6th time that she sold at least 1 million copies of an album in a single week. Those are crazy numbers.
Yeah, that's insane. Like
1 million?
Yeah, that's insane. So, shout out to Travis Kelce. Get in the bag.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you think he locks us down? Do you think that he's able? Because to sustain this, because I feel like he's been dealing with a lot. I feel like he's doing a little bit too much. I mean, we all know that they expanded the NFL season to 17 games. And for him to be running around with Taylor Swift, going out to eat, buying new houses, dealing with all this extra shit, I feel like it's going to be hard to manage all that. We know he won the Super Bowl twice, but do you think he's going to be able to manage this and lock it down?
Listen, I think through
and
all...
he does a podcast. That's a lot.
I think, anything that you want to do, you can do. And for that kind of bag, he is going to do it. Will it, it's kind of like back when I was playing in church, and if you had to sing and play and direct the choir and like take cues from the pastor and stuff all at the same time, something had to give. Now, I have to believe that the same is going to be true with this man in his regular life. Like you said, he's got the podcast. He's got games every single week. He's got Taylor. He's got his endorsements and all of the commercials that he's been doing. Like, there's a lot of things going on. But one of those things is worth $1 billion. And if I had to prioritize, I'm going to prioritize the thing worth $1 billion. I'm just saying. You asked two different questions, though.
Yeah.
You said, is he going to be able to sustain this? Mm-hmm. And then you said, is he going to lock this down?
Yes.
If he's smart, there will be a baby coming after they make it to the Super Bowl and lose to the Eagles again this year. If he's smart. That's a 6-month window. It's like, oh, my God, off season. I forgot to pull out. Like... I was upset. I was depressed. I left it in. Like, I don't know. But I'm not promoting that. Make sure you have consent, everybody. But, yeah.
I mean, listen, I think that's really far-fetched of you to think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Get the fuck out of here, man. Let's try to put your fantasies into this.
Please explain to me how it's far-fetched when we have the best record in the NFL. Yet again.
What happened last time you played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
All right, that was last time. But we made it to the Super Bowl.
Which
I'm
Kelsey
saying
brother
we're going
won?
again, and
Which
we're going to
one?
win this year.
Okay. You know what? I think you're right. $1 billion. He was looking for a breeder. Just make it happen, man. He just turned, 34? 33?
33, something like that. Yeah.
I think they're about the same age.
Yeah, I think he's like a year older than her, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Lock it down, man. Lock it down. Stick to the plan. I mean, you already won your Super Bowls. You have your podcast. You could do your podcast with your brother forever. Him and his brother are probably going to retire in the next 5 years anyway. They've both been in the NFL for a long time. Transition. Yeah. I think it's time to transition into a family man and be that guy for your girl, Taylor. It's your wife, Taylor Kelsey.
That's your wife. That's crazy. They've been dating for a month. No, but in reality, I hope that they take their time and that it does work out, whether it's together or if they move on after this. But, you got to secure the bag.
Yeah.
You
have to, man. Secure the bag, Also, speaking of athletes and billionaire status, man, Magic Johnson, he was also confirmed as a billionaire now.
Let's go, Magic.
Forbes magazine said Magic Johnson becomes the fourth athlete to earn billionaire status. He joins Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tiger Woods as the fourth athlete to earn billionaire status. Forbes estimates Johnson's net worth to be $1.2 billion as a result of his stakes in teams and investments in a variety of industries. Magic Johnson, he was, famous in the 80s and 90s. He's always kept the spotlight on him. He didn't get paid a lot in his NBA career, but he was able to, make the most of his time in Los Angeles and build relationships and build a lucrative career after playing basketball, man. So I'm happy to hear this. I was a little bit shocked to hear that, there's only 4 athletes who reached this status, because when I think maybe worldwide, it's hard to believe that Ronaldo's not a billionaire. But this is only on record of, I guess, people in the United States.
Okay.
I guess, when you see those names, it's only people in the U.S. But, yeah, man, it's an elite club. Do you think we're going to see a lot more billionaire athletes in the next decade, because we talk about the NBA players like Steph Curry, who they signed these big, lucrative $300 million Supermax deals, and we know that they also have their big sneaker deals. Do you think that this is the beginning of a big wave of billionaire athletes?
I think it could be. I mean, I do think there's a big difference between some of the names that you mentioned and, for example, like a Ronaldo, a Messi. First, they got offered some Saudi contracts that they didn't take.
Well, Ronaldo took that.
Yeah, he did, but yeah, maybe it takes time for the money to come in. I don't know.
Maybe
But
they don't count Saudi money. I don't know.
yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they don't. But with Magic Johnson, this is somebody who, after having to leave the league due to having HIV/AIDS, he went about really just from a businessman standpoint putting on a clinic. He owns this company called Equitrust. It's an insurance company. And that company, its assets have gone from $16 billion to $26 billion since he took control 10 years ago.
Wow.
And then, like you mentioned, he owns stakes in the Washington Commanders, the LA Sparks, and the LA Dodgers.
Damn.
And he previously owned a stake in the Lakers before he sold it off. So, like, he's been doing a lot. It's really cool to see this. I'm really happy for him. And there's probably other players that are going to get the same kind of achievement and accomplishment from a monetary standpoint. I wouldn't be surprised if Steph is in that category.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to joining lists with Magic Johnson and having things in common with him, this is the one thing I want to be on the list with him.
Well, from a basketball player standpoint, there may be 2 or 3 other lists, but after that, no.
I'm just saying, when you said Magic Johnson and Clinic together, I was thinking,
man.
I don't know.
The
I was
jokes just started. The light bulb just came on like joke.
I'm sure he spent a lot of time at the clinic, so he got some lessons. But yeah, shout out to Magic Johnson.
Yeah, definitely.
A Billy, man. He also said he's not interested in buying any NBA franchise except for the New York Knicks, which, I mean, I don't blame him. Someone needs to buy that shit. James Dolan, go focus on your sphere and give the Knicks to someone who actually gives a damn. But hey, I would never say anything bad about Mr. Dolan. I love your music. Give me some season tickets.
Oh my gosh. Went from somebody needs to save the Knicks to I would never say anything bad. The problem is, like, he owns everything MSG.
I know.
So it's like,
Yeah.
somebody would have to buy all that shit, and that's a crazy bag.
Yeah, it is crazy. Hopefully this fear takes off, becomes something worldwide, and he's like, all right, I'll sell the Knicks, but we'll see. Yeah. Another billionaire athlete, Michael Jordan. I think he might have been the first on that list. Yeah, he definitely was the first. He was before Tiger and before LeBron. Of course, he was like the first big American athlete, superstar, worldwide marketing tool, brought Nike billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And, he sold his stake in the Charlotte Hornets this summer.
Yes, he did.
For billions of dollars. He's living very comfortably. And his son, Marcus Jordan, he's been living comfortably too with his ex-teammates, ex-wife, Larsa Pippen, who we've talked about too much this year. But hey, they're engaged. They're doing interviews still. They got a podcast. And now Marcus is saying, he wants his dad to be his best man if he ever gets married.
Oh my gosh. Why does this stuff make it to the
Because we talk about it, man. I actually have the audio of him addressing this.
Do you? Let's hear it. Let's hear it, I guess.
I was the best man at his wedding, and the best man at my brother's wedding, and so obviously we'll keep that tradition going.
He wants to keep the tradition going. He said, Marcus was the best man at his dad's wedding, and he was also the best man at his brother's wedding. So why not keep the tradition going and have his dad be the best man at his wedding with Larsa Pippen? They still haven't confirmed that they're engaged, But they are they did, answer some questions about being married.
Yeah.
We talked about MJ disapproving, of their relationship when he was out with his wife drinking in Europe. They asked him, "Do you approve of your son dating Larsa Pippen?" He said no and laughed. Do you think he'll be the best man at Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen's wedding?
I mean, he might. I doubt Scotty's going to be there, so I think that maybe he'll just say, this is my son. He's happy. I want him to be happy, and he did this for me, so why not return the favor?
He did this for me.
Well, yeah, he was. If he was the best man at his dad's wedding, then,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you meant like he actually was having this wedding for me. So I was like, that's wild.
No. I'm saying
Gotcha.
like returning the best man favor. But
his brother could return that favor.
He could. That would probably be a little bit of a better move. But
definitely more likely to happen.
Yeah. What he also said is that they're thinking about putting their nuptials, like their whole wedding, on the Real Housewives of Miami.
Oh yeah.
As well. If that's what happens, there's absolutely no way that Jordan is going to be the best man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine him standing behind him as they like say their vows and all this other shit. He's going to be up there smirking at Larsa the whole time.
He's going to be up there laughing.
Yeah.
Like, hell no. First off, yeah, he's not doing no TV show. He lays very low. If he speaks out to the media, it's very calculated, Even it took how long for them to even put out that footage of The Last Dance until he approved it. He's not going to fucking support this circus out on Bravo. Like, hell no. I mean, you know what? When I saw this interview, I was like, damn, Marcus Jordan, he don't even look like Michael Jordan. He looks like Tyler Perry, yo. Like
He does, and he's making this into a production. He said that what we might do is we might have multiple weddings, one for private with the family and friends, and then one that's a little bit more public. So he's still looking for that money. He still wants the money from Real Housewives, but multiple weddings now.
Multiple weddings. I mean, that's crazy when you're dating a 49-year-old woman who's already been married
for like 20 years
to your dad's ex-teammate who won multiple. They won 6 championships together.
Oh, it's nasty behavior.
Like, Dad, watch me get a ring. Like, no, I'm good. I don't know, Troy. Do you think that MJ would be his son's best man?
Maybe at the private family wedding, if he does have 2, I could picture him doing something like that. But for the whole production, the Bravo production, probably not. I doubt it.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, don't get your hopes up, kid. Don't, because your dad's not gonna show up. Only way MJ is going to be the best man at his son's wedding is if he just says, I object. Hell no. Like, no. I don't see it happening, but shout out to them. I mean, they're going strong. They got a podcast together. Do you think that they actually get it done and get married? Do you think this is real?
I think it's real. I do think they get married. Now, how long the marriage lasts, that's a different conversation, but they've been doing way too much press and stuff. It must be working. They must be standing up to the stress of that, doing a media tour and things like that. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Because some marriages, marriage is hard in general. Things change. Marcus Jordan, he played college ball, but he never made it to the big leagues like his dad. So when you actually make it as an NBA player, it's a big accomplishment. This one former NBA player, Joe Smith, he made $61 million in his playing career. Smith's career, he was a power forward,
Former number 1 pick.
He was number 1 overall?
Yes, he was.
I didn't even know that. Damn.
Yeah.
Smith's career began in 95 with the Golden State Warriors. He played for 12 different teams across the NBA. And he made $61 million, which, over the span of that time.
It's a lot of money.
A whole lot of money. I mean, Scottie Pippen wished he made that much money in the NBA. And he was a champion.
He was.
But this guy, Joe Smith, his wife, she she put him out. She put him out in the open. I honestly, I'm an NBA fan. I've watched the NBA since the '90s, since I was a kid. I'm a big Knicks fan. Got the Knicks on right now, beating the Cavs again. But I didn't know who he was. But his wife, took it upon herself to record him being pretty upset when he found out that she has an OnlyFans.
She
account.
did. She just clearly don't learn. Let's take a look at the video.
Yeah, let's watch.
I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, the disrespect that comes with it, that you could have talked to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, dude. I'm telling you, bro, that's fucked up.
Wait, no. You're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
Recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not fucked up, and we're going to. Okay, look. So, I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice?
I'm your partner. You're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no
You knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before.
Before. I would never have to go back to anything like this again. Unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Keisha. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What
You couldn't
disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the
Now on live.
Live stream. Okay,
No,
so wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
All right. Well. Oh man.
It's tough.
It's messy. It's messy. Now, if for anybody that doesn't know, this woman, her name is Keisha Davis, but that wasn't her original name. She is actually a retired '90s porn star who previously had the name of Yasmin Champagne Penn Davis.
Yasmin Champagne.
Yes.
Oh shit.
So
remember, you used to be Crystal Analyze.
That's right. That used to be my Instagram name, Crystal Analyze. But so that's what she's referring to when or he's referring to when, well, both of them really are kind of talking about when they're like, well, you knew who I was before.
Yes.
And you married me anyway. And he's like, yeah, but that was before. Now you're supposed to stop.
That was before.
Yeah. So, this is messy. What do you think about this?
Listen, they say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right?
They do say that. Yes.
They say that. And I think this is a prime example of that. And I think she's being honest about herself. But I think this is all promo because I'm not sure if he's fully aware. But for her to pull out the camera and capture this moment while he's just now finding out. And he didn't find out from her. He found out from someone else. And he's reacting in that way. And the fact that she pimps out this moment, the way she pimps out herself on OnlyFans, like he can't be surprised if that is who she was before. You can't expect her to change. I mean, you make $60 million over your career. You're living this lifestyle. Obviously, she's used to having things. And if someone was a porn star when you met them, like, you can't be surprised when things kind of get a little bit tough that they revert back into their old ways and exploit a situation because now I didn't even know who he was. Like, I don't think any of us did. But now we know about her. We know about her OnlyFans. She actually did an interview with TMZ after this.
Of course she did.
And
because they gave her a bag.
I mean, yeah, she'll do anything for the bag, and she said that he's not gonna leave her. Let me play some audio from that because I thought that was very telling.
You deal with that. I don't want to be alone, but you know, if that's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. But I don't think we'll have a divorce. I don't think so. I think he'll come around.
She says she thinks he'll come around. So she feels confident. I mean, for her to record him having this emotional moment, finding out, her justifying it for the internet, and then doing interviews afterwards. She has this man in the Jada Pinkett hold. I'm not.
She does. She really does. That coochie grip crazy. But I don't understand the people that are siding with her, for the simple reason that they're married, and just like she said, they've been talking about a lot of different things. Clearly, they're having monetary problems. If they're talking so much, why couldn't she talk about the fact, hey, I want to start an OnlyFans. This is an easy way for me to make money. It's something that I'm used to. It used to be one of my hustles because it seems like through her career, she's not only been a porn star, but been in some like petty acting positions. She's done some singing. Like she tried all those typical things that women try when they actually have no skills. So
she has skills.
But I mean, I just think it's simple. If you're married, have a conversation. Yeah. Because it could have been that he's okay with it. It could have been, but because you hid this for a year, now you got a problem. This is a man who they're saying made over $60 million, played for 11 different teams, but he blew the $1 million, and 4 years ago he was over $150K in debt and only had $3,000 in his bank account.
Damn, how'd they even know that?
I think there's more information available online. You can find a lot of stuff.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, for over a year not knowing that, like, I'm sure her OnlyFans is going to blow up from this. And she seems very confident he's not going to leave no matter what. So
she does. She does seem confident. But, I mean, listen.
Who's on her side? I didn't even see anyone supporting her. Like, people were actually...
all the My Body, My Choice people.
But if you're married to someone, don't you think you should have that conversation? Like, I don't even understand that. Like, Troy, like, wouldn't you expect that too?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's the biggest issue. Like, you have to have that conversation if you're married. Like, that's the whole point of a marriage and your partnership. So doing that behind your partner's back is that's a line that you shouldn't cross.
Yeah, that's shady. That's shady as fuck. So, you know, I think she's just trying to promote herself. She wants to get out there. Do you think that people will actually sign up for her OnlyFans, like, now knowing it's available? Because I don't think people were even aware before this.
I'm sure somebody will, but unless she really popping it, then it's not gonna go anywhere. I just
There's no stopping it.
Apparently, but yeah. So the reason that this information about his financial history is available is because there was an article in 2018 that talked about it, and they basically said that due to his lack of financial knowledge, bad investments, poor spending habits, and being too generous with helping others, he purchased homes in 12 different cities, bought some of them in cash. And then when it came to cars, he owned like a Corvette, a SL Mercedes, a S Mercedes, a Bentley, Porsche, 2 Ranges. He got robbed by one of his exes on Love and Hip Hop. Like there was a variety of different things that happened.
He makes bad choices, and you could tell by his wife.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, how does she have a OnlyFans for that long? And you never noticed that she was disappearing into the bedroom by herself for like hours on end. Because you got to work at that. It's not like you could just do it for 5 minutes. Like if you're really trying to get money from it.
I mean, I'm sure he's busy doing other things, you know.
Yeah,
like
spending his money being stupid.
Spending his money on other girls on OnlyFans, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, prayers to them. She seems confident that this will not break their marriage. I mean, I'm sure he's dealt with other things between them. So I did think it was very sleazy for her to use that as an opportunity to promote herself. But
yeah,
it is what it is, man. You can't turn. You can't change people. You know. She said you knew who I was.
Yeah, when she said you knew who I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So you like that about her?
Maybe it's a stunt.
And she turned it against you and flipped it, and she trying to spit it back out to everybody. Pause.
You must have seen her videos.
No, I'm just saying what she's doing.
You said she flipped it and spitting out what? You giving a detailed
Listen,
review.
she better if she want to pay that debt off.
Oh man, yeah. Nat says
You need to be thanking her. It's like, let me stop.
Nat says while he's at work, my mom said maybe it's a stunt from both of them. I think he seemed like he was in real pain, but maybe I don't know. It is shady, but when times are tough, you never know what's gonna happen. Shout out to them. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I hope they figure it out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he gonna show up in the videos with her and shit.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Yo, I mean, people, money talks, man. And finally, a former UFC fighter got paid, man.
Mm-hmm.
Francis Ngannou. He boxed Tyson Fury, the undefeated heavyweight champion, and they fought in Saudi Arabia, making millions and millions of dollars.
That they did. How was the fight, man? How was the fight? Tell me a little bit about it, because I still have not been able to find the saved version of it.
Yeah, the fight was great. I dropped the money because all the local bars, they're doing like Halloween parties, so didn't get a chance to go out and watch it as I wanted to. But I said, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. I bought it, and it was totally worth the money. I mean, outside of the performances by Becky G and Lil Baby that nobody really asked for or wanted. They spent so much money on this event. Like they had Cristiano Ronaldo, Eminem, Kanye West, Vince McMahon, and The Undertaker, like hanging with the Sheik, who they were calling His Excellence throughout the entire broadcast, which just felt really uncomfortable. Like,
did it?
Yeah.
But that's his title.
I don't want to call no one His Excellence, but hey, he gave Fury like a couple $1 million sports car. They both got like these $100,000 watches. They were spending money everywhere. They get treated like kings. Mike Tyson was paid to be Ngannou's coach. They paid all these former boxers and MMA fighters to come and hang out with them. If you got money like that, they actually built the arena that they fought in 60 days, which is insane. So there was money everywhere, but Ngannou, he was the real star of the night, man. He knocked Tyson Fury down in the third round with the left hook, and outboxed him throughout the whole fight.
Really?
I would say I felt like he won the fight. He lost by a split decision, so he won on one judge's card. And a lot of people felt the same way, that he won the fight. He got the knockdown, did more damage. But it's boxing. It's a business. And afterwards, they were actually promoting the next fight for Tyson Fury, him versus Usyk, to unify the heavyweight titles.
Yeah, I don't
which
like
is,
that.
A fight that's also scheduled in the same brand new arena in Saudi Arabia. It was scheduled for December 23rd, but they pushed it back to February after Tyson got his ass beat. So yeah, it was great, yo. I gotta say, man, shout out to Francis Ngannou. He left the UFC. He bet on himself. He tested free agency, signed a new contract with the PFL, which the PFL just bought out Bellator. Showtime Boxing is ending. Like they're not.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
So,
lost HBO and Showtime. It's nuts.
Yeah, so Showtime, they also hosted Bellator, so they were looking for a seller there in MMA. So PFL is going to get bigger over the next couple of years. In boxing, it's sad to lose Showtime Boxing. I don't know what the future of boxing is going to hold, because they actually had a really good year. But it was a really good night for Francis Ngannou, even in a loss, because he earned everyone's respect. I'm a big Ngannou fan. Even I doubted his potential to win this fight, and he surprised me and everybody else. So big things for him. I mean, he literally was working in the salt mines in Cameroon when he was 10 years old.
Wow.
He was a refugee and escaped to France and started training in MMA when he was 25. So within 10 years, he became a UFC champion. He got out of his deal. Dana White didn't want to let him box. He said he wouldn't be able to sell, himself to, another league and get the fight with Tyson Fury. He does that. gets his millions, and wins the baddest man on the planet fight, like in the eyes of many. I mean, not the judges because they had a business to run, but he's the baddest man on the planet. So gotta shout him out.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully there's another fight for him boxing, because I'd definitely like to see it. I know the purse was crazy though.
Yeah.
I think Fury got like $30 million or something crazy like that. And Ngannou got 10?
10 before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And I just looked it up. The King of Saudi Arabia is worth $18 billion.
God damn.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like royalty that's worth billions of dollars around the world. I never knew this.
Yeah. It's a lot of money out there to be just, I'm going to build an arena in 2 months. I mean, we talked about the World Cup in Qatar, and they built cities to host those games. That oil money is different.
Yeah. But not only that, I mean, I'm looking at some of these other countries. Thailand, the king of Thailand is worth between $30 and $43 billion.
God damn.
Yeah, right?
That's
Thailand.
crazy. Yeah, and these places. Yeah.
But the UAE, $15 billion. Morocco, $8 billion. UAE, apparently there's the president and then the prime minister. Both of them are billionaires. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
God damn. I'm sure that they're on the up and up. Hey, women can drive now in Saudi Arabia, so things are changing.
Congrats.
And congrats to Ngannou for proving everybody wrong. I mean, his life is a movie. I really hope that they make that movie sometime soon. Maybe Jonathan Majors can play him. I don't know.
No, Jonathan Majors, he's on timeout. He is on timeout.
Yo, I read that Marvel's thinking about shifting from Kane to Doctor Doom for the MCU. Do you think that's a possibility? I haven't kept up with like the recent stuff.
I don't know. Troy, what do you think? Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I just saw that today as well. I don't know if it's going to happen. I just feel they have so much in stake around his character that it might be too late. But actually, I saw like there were a bunch of other leaks with that too, saying that they might bring, spoiler alert, for the last Avengers movie, they're trying to bring back Tony Stark, Black Widow, and get them all back together. And I heard the Blade movie's having trouble too. So Marvel's just having a lot. They have to make a lot of decisions sooner than later because they're having issues right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense. They've done too much. I mean, for me, I was over it after Endgame. I mean, I loved Infinity War. Didn't like Endgame. For Disney to be like, oh, we need to go back to what worked before, that's not a surprise because that's just what they do as a company.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to shift now. Do you think that they move away from Jonathan Majors? Because it seems like they're trying to. I
think
know.
they were doing a lot with him, and you got to be able to pivot. And if this guy can't keep his hands to himself, you got to make a business decision at a certain point.
I think Dr. Doom is a safe choice because he wears a mask. You can replace him easily.
Damn. I mean, listen, Disney is a company that's got a market cap of like $150 billion. So I think they're going to be just fine. They'll figure it out. They're smart, and they've definitely done well since they entered the streaming landscape. That is for sure. Ever since Disney Plus came out, they've had a lot of content. Maybe they're oversaturating a little bit, but they got to compete. And I think they're doing a good job from that standpoint.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, it's crazy. We we talked.
Shit.
What?
I just saw they're actually gonna acquire the remaining stake in Hulu that was left for like $8 billion.
Okay, that's
so
a
they're
big
buying
shift.
that from Comcast. Yeah.
Yeah, they might be selling off ESPN soon. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what Bob Iger is going to do. But all these CEOs, they're all, trying to figure out what to do with their money.
Mm-hmm.
They could just steal it, like Brett Favre, from the government and poor people. That's what Shannon Sharpe said. Shannon Sharpe said, what did he say? Back when he was on...
FS1.
Yeah, FS1 undisputed
Yes.
with Skip. Was that 2 years ago when Brett Favre got caught up in that Mississippi government scandal? He was outspoken. Shannon Sharpe, he beat Brett Favre. I think it was Super Bowl 32 when the Broncos beat the Packers.
Yep.
I remember watching that when I was a kid. So Brett Favre was still a bit salty about that, and also Shannon's comments because, Shannon said, he was like, so if that is the poorest state, Brett Favre is taking from the underserved. You made $100+ million in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about, didn't know. This is what Brett Favre texted. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? He stole money from people that really needed that money. Brett Favre did not like that. He sued Shannon Sharpe for defamation.
Yeah.
But, Keith Starrett, the U.S. District Court judge from the Southern District of Mississippi, granted the motion to dismiss this case after determining that Sharpe's comments were protected under the First Amendment. Shout out to Unc.
Good for Shannon. Yeah, he tweeted about it. He said the U.S. District Court for Southern District of Mississippi today, he put the number 2.
Oh, shit.
Dismissed Brett Favre's defamation lawsuit against me. Protected by First Amendment to the Constitution, thanks to my legal team and their handling of this case. Congrats, man. Congrats. I'm glad. I will say it's interesting. So this whole thing happened because basically the show was talking about the allegations of Mississippi's largest corruption case. This is their largest ever. It's a case that features accusations that the Department of Human Services misspent more than $77 million from the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families Fund. And instead spent it on projects like, for example, a $5 million volleyball facility. And that's a project that Brett Favre was involved in for the University of Southern Mississippi. So Favre, he was upset and everything like that, but he's not actually facing criminal charges. Now, he is on a list of people that are going to be sued by the state of Mississippi in an attempt to recover some of this welfare money, but he's not actually facing criminal charges right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he was very sensitive to this, and he said, I'm suing your ass, but he lost. I mean, I feel like Brett Favre has been laying a bit low. I haven't seen him in any Wrangler jean commercials.
You haven't seen nothing in the news after this first broke. It's been really quiet.
Yeah, it's been quiet. I haven't heard Brett Favre this quiet since, the news came out of him sending a dick pic to that reporter when he was playing for the Jets.
Oh, man, I forgot about that. Nasty-ass white guy.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. I mean, he's had his ups and downs this year, but he's ended the year very strong, man. So, happy for him.
Listen, sometimes it's not a setback or a fall. It's more of a pivot, and I think for Shannon, that's all it is. He's going to continue to be successful. His show has been great, his podcast and Club Shay Shay and things like that, and he's doing great on First Take too.
Yeah, shout out to Shannon.
Aside from that makeup he had the other day. Oh, my God.
Oh, that shit, he looked like Joanna, man. Oh my God, what happened in the Knicks game? They're all wiping down the court. Like, what's on the court?
Did hockey start yet?
But yeah, it did. But what was
sometimes it makes like condensation appear on the court. It makes it slippery.
No,
and
they're
stuff.
picking up like these little black things off the court. Like it has nothing to do with the ice. Like
is that Chris Rock? Look at Chris.
He got the hat on because he actually has a bald spot in the back. We saw him at the Knicks game earlier this year. Yeah, this is weird. I've never seen no shit like this.
Oh wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, Tom Thibodeau looks puzzled. He looks like that all the time, though.
He does.
This is weird. This is not normal. Something must have happened. Anyway, guys.
Maybe during like one of the breaks where they have the shows and stuff out there, something fell.
Something. But yeah, man, NBA season started. We talked about that last week. And we already got the first big trade with, James Harden. He's going to the Clippers, man.
Whoa. This is another one of those big trades where we're like, this would have been phenomenal like 10 years ago.
Yes, man. The scariest big four in 2015 is happening in 2023. He's going to the Clippers. He's joining Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George.
How many games do you think the four of them actually play on at the same time?
Damn, that's a good question.
Over or under 40?
I say over. I said
Yeah?
I'm being optimistic, but I'd say they play a good 50 together.
50 games? All four of them?
I feel yeah, I do. I would take that. I would take that bet.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
We don't have to bet it, but I don't think so. I think the four of them do not play more than 40 games together, for the simple fact that there are four of them, and all of them, except for Westbrook, tend to be injury prone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I mean, the West is a crapshoot outside of the Nuggets, honestly, and the Suns.
It is.
The
well,
Sun-
I don't even believe in the Suns yet, but we'll see.
That's true. They're a new team too. Got a new coach. But I just feel like they have enough talent.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, by the end of the season, I think they'll be fine. I think the Warriors, I don't know. I think they'll be fine. But
the
we'll
problem
see.
with the Suns is like, who was their bench? Like, I don't know that they have depth.
Bull.
Yeah,
Shaq said Bull is just as good as Wembyana.
I mean, listen, Shaq's not the only one that said that. Ish said that on the JBP too. And
They're both wrong.
they're wrong right now. Or
They're
no,
wrong.
they'll be wrong long term. But right now, they're not that wrong.
They're wrong in the short term. I mean, Wembyana has already done way more than Bull. Bull
Well,
can't
yeah,
get
Bull
any burn.
he doesn't get any play time, unfortunately.
Because he can't stay coordinated. He can't be impactful. You know, I love Bull.
I think he could be really good. I don't know what it is with like these uber tall people that they just don't get play time. They don't get like any sort of growth. They don't like build them up or anything like that. We saw the same thing with Taco Fall. He was like a nice little like circus attraction for the Celtics for a little bit. And
That's
then,
very different, man. Taco Fall.
yeah, he didn't have a skill set.
Yeah,
he
was
didn't
just
have
like
a skill set.
7'7".
He was just super tall. But
Yeah.
still, you would think that you can teach him to post up and block. Like that's all he really needs to do.
Yeah, you would think, but hey, it's hard to be an NBA player. But yeah, you know, I'm happy to see Harden move on. You know, he called out Daryl Morey, the president of the Sixers, all over the summer in China, calling him a liar and all types of things. It was a bad situation. So
Indeed.
I'm glad that they can move on from it. I don't think that they're a top team in the West, but I do think that the Clippers, since they got the big two with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they haven't lived up to expectations.
No.
Because a lot of injuries and other things have happened. And now they're, you know, all in their 30s, which just isn't ideal. But we'll see, man. It's still very early. Maybe they'll make some noise in the midseason tournament, which we're still trying to figure out, but we'll see.
Your mom said somebody's beaded necklace broke.
For real, that's what happened. That's crazy.
That's what she said. Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's the biggest highlight.
Yeah. I don't know. So, you know, we're 3-4 games into the NBA season so far. What have you liked? What have you not liked? How are you feeling about the Knicks?
I'm indifferent right now. I feel like the Knicks still need to make a big trade to take that next step up. You know, the Bucks are the best team in the East, I'd say, early on. I don't know. They're still shaky, but
I think it's between them and the Celtics.
Yeah, I said the Bucks and the Celtics are top tier.
The Bucks are definitely figuring some things out right now.
yeah, for sure, man. Because the Bucks, they had Flavor Flav come and do the national anthem, bro.
That's wild.
You're a
that
singer.
Is wild.
Like, what's up with that decision, man?
Listen, I want to let the people hear Flava Flav do his best work first, and then I'll share my opinion. snap kills me, yo. The snap. Sing it, Flav. Oh, then he went for an encore. Encore, do you want more? Shout out to Flav. Shout out to Flav for putting in some work, man. Listen, when the money starts calling your name, and on a platform like that, they're talking about bringing him out more. I mean,
do you think he got paid for that for real?
Yes, I do.
I think they paid him in tickets. I don't think that I don't know. I mean, they gave him some free popcorn.
Who knew Flav lived in Milwaukee? Like,
does he?
I mean, to be singing at their game and have the jersey on and everything, like, he must be living there, right?
I don't know, because remember, like, Milwaukee, they're the same team that brought in Ja Rule to do the halftime show years ago.
Yeah, but Ja's everywhere.
Because the Fire Fest? Like,
no, man. Ja travels. He gets around. But Flavor Flav, where does he live?
I'd assume, like, New York, because that's where he's from.
Oh, they said legendary hype man Flavor Flav is now part-time in Detroit and Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. That makes sense.
Interesting.
That was terrible. But
Yeah,
it was also entertaining.
It's definitely not good from a singing aspect, but from a crowd support, his mannerisms were great. The snap was entertaining, like when he started getting a rhythm there. He was generally in the same key, which I was surprised by. And you know, Flav, he's a legend. He is a legend, and I want to give him a pass for, you know, maybe the tonality, his ability to, you know, hold a note. He's 64 years old.
Yeah. Another legend. You know, my favorite rendition of the national anthem. I'm going to play it right now.
Oh, man, I know who this is. Oh.
Do you?
Fergie.
No.
It's not?
Hold on, I'll play.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what's so proud?
You're going to get us canceled. Listen, everybody, make sure you stream this. This is going to all the victims of R. Kelly.
Yo, this national anthem is 2 minutes long. I'm going to go to the ends. He actually has people dancing in the boxing room, like, while he's doing this. It's amazing. Like,
No, they panned out. They panned out to show Vegas.
you gotta love this.
What kind of cheap ass beat did he have in the background? Oh, clap your hands. Hey.
Oh, we gotta go to the end, yeah.
Oh, man.
Come on, clap your hands.
Oh, clap your hands.
The man can sing. You can say what you want about Kels.
Yeah.
He can sing.
Of the Brave, man. That was great. That's my favorite national anthem.
That beat in the background. They needed a better beat drum kit than that. That was nasty.
I thought it was great.
What year was that from? Do you know?
That was like, I don't know. That was like 20 years ago. Like
Yeah,
early
I was
2000.
gonna say it had to be like 20 years ago plus.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to America. Shout out to America. Even if we're funding some really nasty things, that's just the history of the country.
Yeah. Some things never change.
Yeah, some things never change, man. This one survey says some jobs, just make it more likely for people to cheat.
Ooh.
With their coworkers mostly.
Nasty jobs.
This survey was like from a gambling company or something. It was mad random.
Mm-hmm.
But they have the top 10 most common cheating jobs or industries. So they say, number one, people who work in sales, they stacked up as the top cheaters with a striking 14.5% admitting to having workplace affairs, man. We talk about salespeople. I mean, we just talked about the woman selling herself on OnlyFans, so I guess this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Was this surprising to you that sales was number one? And do you think 14.5% is a lot?
I'm not surprised by that at all. If you've been in any corporate environment where they have a sales team, you're probably aware that they have their culture is similar to Greek life in college. Very frat and soror kind of, outings, drinking, turning up, traveling a lot, late nights, grinding to the end of the quarter, pause. Well, you get what I'm saying. You're just trying to close those last minute deals and open the new ones. So it's just it's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
I do want to clarify though, this survey, like you said, it was a gambling company and it polled like 3,800 people in the UK.
The UK.
Yeah.
I feel like the UK and the US are kind of similar.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because when they talk about the UK, that includes like Scotland. It includes like all
Wales.
those, Wales. Like it includes a few different places where it's kind of country. So
We have a lot of country places here too.
oh,
Let's be real.
that's for a fact. That is definitely true.
Yeah. A lot of people took hits, man. The second most common cheaters are in education, and I know you worked at a university.
I did.
Your parents are teachers. You have a lot of people in your family work in education.
It's a noble profession. That's why when I saw this on the list, I was like, where is this from? I don't know if this is right.
But come on, people in education, they
definitely get nasty.
They work in close quarters. I mean, we also were students at some points, and
That's true.
I'm sure we noticed some trends with teachers, not only amongst the other faculty, but with also children.
I had multiple jobs on campus when I was in college. I had like 3 different jobs. I was a working dude, man, trying to get that money. But
working, I hope you weren't selling ass.
No, I was not. I was not. I try to avoid those sorts of interactions in the workplace, just because it's not great. It's not great. They have the saying, "Don't shit where you eat" for a reason.
Yeah.
Don't do it where you get your paycheck either.
Yeah. Yeah, but people are working together, long hours.
Yeah.
The people say, we talked about, work wives and work husbands in the past. And,
Yes, we have.
I would say education and sales, I would assume, but I wouldn't think those were the tops. But
Yeah.
it makes sense. They said 13.7% in the survey said, we're from education. That's crazy, man. The rest of the industries were healthcare, transports and logistics, hospitality and event management, engineering and manufacturing, property and construction, accounting, banking and finance, information technology, and the armed forces, which I feel like people cheat in every industry. At that point,
my thing is and when I looked at this list, I definitely would move some things around. I would say probably number one, I would think healthcare and then hospitality, events management. Those are probably definitely high up there.
Yeah.
I think sales is definitely high up there. Maybe not number one necessarily, but it's definitely probably top 3, top 4. And then I would go with taking the armed forces and moving that way higher. I really would. There's some shady stuff that happens in the armed forces. In the U.S., we have don't ask, don't tell. In the U.K., I don't know what they have. Maybe they don't have as many women in the armed forces. I don't know. But I would definitely put armed forces higher on this list.
The U.S. does not have don't ask, don't tell anymore. Like,
Okay, sure they don't.
don't ask, don't tell. I mean, yeah, that was the thing. It doesn't surprise me. I feel like it could happen in any workplace. I feel like a lot of these work places were like essential workers. Like throughout COVID,
they were stressed. They were stressed. They had to relieve the stress.
Yeah. But salespeople, I never trust salespeople. Sorry, like I don't like. I feel like they're fake, and that's just what it is. They just want to sell you something. So if they want something, they're going to work hard to get it.
True.
And, try to sell something just to kind of benefit themselves. So, yeah, I feel like they're a little bit selfish culturally. So it doesn't surprise me that they're number one. Education also doesn't surprise me. All this, it just makes sense. What did surprise me is, the chart that, it was like, did the affair ever come to light with your partner? And 22% said that, their partner never found out. But they were in the smaller percentage. The top reasons, the top reasons they got caught out there is that, someone at work told them about it at 17%.
Oh.
At 14.6%, they were actually spotted by their partner's friend who told them.
Damn.
And in third place, they found out through messages and apps on the phone, which I thought would be the first. And then right after that, it is, 9.8% that they found out on social media.
Damn.
And then after
How
that,
do you
it's like
find out on social media though? Like, are you posting and like somebody catches you in the background or something? Like, what? I feel like, how could that happen?
We've all been to like holiday parties and happy hours at work, and we've all seen things happen. So
That's true.
Maybe someone saw it on the story.
They did say earlier. They said 25% of the affairs happened on the clock at holiday parties.
Oh my God! You gotta watch. Holidays are coming, guys.
Yeah,
Watch out.
They are. They are.
You never know what Santa's gonna bring. Maybe you getting cheated on.
Put those phones away.
Oh my God.
Yo, the 3.7% I contracted an STD. That sucks.
That makes the most sense, though. I mean, it getting caught to me, but like that's crazy. Like, 6.1% accidentally slipped out. Like, how the hell? Oh yeah, I was fucking Stacy last week. Oh my bad. Like,
that's crazy.
Oh my God. But yeah, 22% were never found out. Like, which I feel like it's a pretty low number. So most people who are, cheaters, they get caught one way or another. Yeah. Troy, did anything stand out to you like from this poll?
No, I'm not really surprised. I've been working with salespeople for 10 years. I've heard a lot of stuff about some of the salespeople I work with about, like, unfortunately, broken marriages and stuff like that firsthand. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. I just recently heard from someone I used to work with that one of my old managers, they found out that they were being cheated on by their husband with their best friend.
Damn.
And they've got like multiple kids together. Yeah. Nasty stuff.
Wow.
Everybody be safe out there.
Thoughts and prayers.
Be honest and trustworthy and loyal to your partners. If you're not trying to be with them, then end the relationship.
Yeah. This one therapist, they reveal like the signs that your relationship is about to end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The main thing is if one partner is consistently putting in more work, more effort, and more labor than the other, it's going to tip the balance eventually. Mm-hmm. He said, the partner putting in more work will have resentment and anger, and the union won't stand the test of time. Furthermore, he said, The partner putting in less effort will most likely be blindsided when the breakup happens. The partner who wasn't putting in as much effort will be shocked. Was this surprising to you? I mean, you're a Libra. You're all about balance.
Yeah. No, it's not surprising to me. Listen, in these relationships, y'all got to treat it like a group project, and y'all really have to try to do your part. That's the way it is.
A group project? So is this like polyamorous?
No. It's just two people in the project. But, well, I mean, depending, I don't want to judge anybody in their sexual activities. If you've got others in the kitchen cooking with you, then okay. But you got to pull your weight. And you both have to communicate and make sure that you work out who does what, and make sure that it's fair and that it works for you. But this isn't really surprising for me. I definitely get it.
Yeah, it takes two to tango.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in situations where I felt like I was pulling more weight than the person I was with. And I would say most of the times I went through breakups, it was always surprising to the person. It's like, oh, surprise, don't want to be together anymore. It's kind of hard for someone to expect that unless something major happens. But if you just feel like things are unbalanced, if it's not working, and I feel like also if you're not putting that much work in, then of course you're not aware enough to know it's not working because you're a lazy son of a bitch. It's like, put that work in, do something.
Yeah, I mean, but that's where the communication comes in.
Yeah.
Talking about what your goals are, where you're headed, what you're trying to do over the next few months or next couple of years, like the timeline for it, what needs to be done along the way. There's a lot of different things you got to talk about to make sure it's clear. Now, if somebody is still not pulling their weight and doing what they're supposed to do after that, you got decisions to make.
Yeah. I was actually expecting more from this article because when I saw it was just like generally like, oh, it's unbalanced. I'm like, okay, that kind of goes without saying. I thought there was actually going to be some more signs.
Yeah.
But I think it is also like very relevant, I think it's a good way to put it. Just so people can keep in mind that relationships do take work.
Yeah.
It does take both people.
It's just like self-awareness.
Yeah.
Like you have to, that's why, I understand women get annoyed when they hear the whole, oh, what do you bring to the table conversation. I understand that's like a loaded question, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so that's basically the person saying, are you pulling your weight? What are you doing for this relationship? What are you doing to get us to the next step? What are you doing to help us be great and like add value? It doesn't necessarily have to be from a monetary sense. It could be a variety of different things that you do to make sure that you're uplifting your man, you're supporting him, and you're putting him and yourself in the best position to win.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I get people being annoyed with that conversation because a lot of people asking that question, they don't really bring that much to the table themselves. It's like
Exactly.
It's like, I don't think that's any type of opener. I think you should be able to gauge through conversation what someone, if someone is a match to what your needs are. You shouldn't just be like, oh, what do you bring to the table? Because then it's just like you giving a job interview, and I think that's pretty fucking lame. Yeah. And I wouldn't like no one approaching me in that way either. I'd be like, what do you bring to the table? Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
But I think it's valid, to have those conversations in a fluid way. Like, what works for you. This one dating coach, she provided 3 reasons why you should cancel a first date before you even get to that point. Which I thought I agreed with a lot of what she said,
Yeah.
This dating coach advises that singles text, with their potential date to fill out their personality and intentions. She was like, the first topic of discussion to go over your values. They say values are important, an important component in finding a soulmate. Think kids or religion. This could be an immediate deal breaker if you disagree on this. And I feel like those are 2 big standpoints. I know I want to have kids eventually. I'm not sure the timing of that. But eventually I would want to be with someone who is excited about that too. Religion, I'm not religious myself, but I know a lot of people, you know, that's important to them. And it's just like, I wouldn't want to be with someone who had that expectation of me. We have to be aligned on those things. Do you think that that was good advice to discuss before you meet with someone, or is that a little bit too heavy for you?
So I think some of for this, like, values, I think they're better communicated in person. Like, the whole point of having a first date or a first meetup or whatever you want to call it is so that you can discuss things. Sometimes the important stuff, you don't want to talk about it via text. I just don't think it's the best idea, because sometimes the tone, the way somebody communicates, you don't even understand that yet because you haven't had a first date. So something could come across the right way or the wrong way via text, and then maybe you think, oh yeah, this works, or it doesn't work, when in reality, maybe if you had a face-to-face conversation, you could have read their tone, their facial expression. They could have explained in more detail than they would have in text. Values, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree.
It's a bit heavy. I would say, like, I try to gauge, I don't know, I put myself out there, and, you know, people have access to looking at this content. They have access to look at how I present myself outwardly. I feel like I'm pretty expressive, and I'm pretty open for questioning. I don't harp on things like that before a first date, but if someone's looking for something specific, I can understand. Troy, what did you think about that, like, texting about, like, values before you meet up with someone?
I'm not a fan of it. One, personally, I'm not a texter. I'm not a good texter with stuff like that. There's too much nuance and stuff that gets, like, lost in translation. So, like Bryan said, doing it in person, I think, is definitely important in a conversation you should have. Just not over text. There's too much. Way too much.
Fair. What's next?
Yeah, so it says, like, if the date overshares or continuously references sex during the texting phase, which, you know, I hear a lot, like, you know, from women, like, that guys do that. Yeah. And, you know, I could see maybe if I was younger, maybe in college, you know, doing that, but I don't even remember being like that, honestly. And but for my personal rule, like, I don't talk about sex. Like, I don't bring it up until, like, I have sex with someone. Once I have sex with someone, I'm like, okay, we're familiar with it. We're familiar with each other. You know what it is. You know what I'm about. We can talk about it. But for me, I'm more of a doer than a talker. And I'm not trying to, like, hype something up before it even happens. I want to get to know you before I meet. So that would be a little bit of a red flag to me, too. And I feel like women are more subtle. So even... It's a turn off even if a woman starts talking to me sexually before I meet her. I'm like, are you a bot? Like, or are you something else? Like, are you a catfish? You know what I mean? Because that's a red flag.
I'm just seeing one of Nat's comments before. She was like, you need a man you can trust to lead to be able to do that. I'm not sure if she's talking about the previous topic. And then she said, I fell in love with her from day one just by smelling her hair. It wasn't love. The hair smelled really good, though.
You be smelling hair on first dates?
I don't want to go into it right now. No, I don't. That's the answer to your question. No, I don't. But she did some voodoo shit to her hair. She did some brujeria. I don't know. But anyway.
Love at first smell. Love at first sniff.
It was different. Her hair has never smelled the same as that first day. It's crazy. Anyway, so I don't know. I think it depends. Like, if you're flirting and stuff, sometimes the sex stuff can come into conversation early on. Before a first date is probably a little bit weird, but after the first date, if there's chemistry and, like, y'all have started to get to second base, like, then I think it's fair game.
Yeah, I think it's fair game too. It's just a little bit uncomfortable. For me, it's just like, especially like with like online dating, you should be able to at least take from someone's profile or social media and get to know them through text to know if it's worth it or not. But yeah, I think that is also a red flag. Also, the last one she had mentioned is bad mouthing an ex. She said bad mouthing an ex is never a good look, especially before the first date or on the first date. She says if someone talks poorly about an ex, especially before the first date, it could imply that they're not over their ex. that they're bitter in some way, or that they don't take any personal accountability for a relationship that's not working. I always think this is a red flag too, because like I think it's lame. I have dated girls, like I remember I went out with this girl in college, like actually she gave me her number when she was out with a different guy. She actually just turned around and was just like, here, give me your phone. Let me put my number in your phone. So I was like, all right, whatever. That was already. She also had a personalized license plate with her name on it.
Yeah, that's a red flag for me.
But you know, there was some other attributes that I'm not going to go over. But hey,
gets too specific.
A little bit. I mean, but this was a long time ago. But I remember, like, she kept being like, I hung out with her and it was annoying me because she was like, you're just like my ex. Like, you're just like him. And she was like naming his name. His name was like, I don't know, like Scotty. She was like, you're just like Scott. And I was like, yo, stop doing that. Like, I'm over it. So I think that's a giant red flag. You're not over some type of situation, especially when the accountability part, if you say, oh, my exes are crazy, it's just like, well, why are you attracted to all these crazy people?
And you can think that, but keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know that. It's just like when you're looking for a job, you don't talk about like all the reasons that you hate your current job.
Yeah.
You might say something simple like, oh, I'm looking for a better work-life balance, or, you know, I haven't been able to find an opportunity to really grow my career at this current role. Like, there's a diplomatic way to say like, nah, fuck this company. Yeah. But you got to find a diplomatic way to say, because I think it's fair game in a first date to ask, you know, oh, you're single, like, what happened to your last relationship? I think that's a fair question to ask somebody, but you also want to see how they respond.
Yeah. Yeah, I never even asked that question. I mean, I've been out with several girls who'd be like, yeah, you know, me and my ex, we broke up, but we still live together. And I'm like, damn, you broke as fuck.
Oh, damn, you're a fuck toy. Like,
I did not say that. It's just hard to believe, you know, that something isn't going on. But hey, you know, I try not to be too judgmental. I mean, honestly, that's not a deal breaker for me. It's just like, okay, I'll just wait till you get out that situation. But at least it's honest.
Mm-hmm. True.
You know, this one, the dating coach, they recommend sticking to a nifty acronym called NATO, not attached to an outcome, which I agree with.
Makes complete sense. When you go in with preconceived notions or expectations of somebody, that's how you set yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah. So NATO, you know, rely on NATO unless you're Vladimir Putin, who hates NATO.
Or Ukraine, who wants to join NATO.
Let's not hope for a world war. But yeah, it's hard out there. You know, we talked about the list of places not to take women on a first date, which was pretty much like everything. Yeah.
Anywhere that is a chain restaurant, bowling, club, bar, church, casual drinks, church,
coffee.
Yeah, pretty much no dates that don't cost less than $500. So
There's one guy on Hinge. He matched with this girl Vanessa from Canada. You know, she had been talking to him for a few weeks, and things seemed to be going well. So she agreed to go to dinner with him, and the man sent her an address for the restaurant to meet at the date. And she didn't even question it. She just showed up to the address, and it was McDonald's.
I mean, she looked like Miss Piggy, so...
That's wrong.
I'm just saying. But listen, I think no, but I'm joking on her because I think you're stupid if you just go to a random fucking address and you don't look up what that address is. Like, are you dumb?
Brian blames women. Yeah, I mean,
listen again, but still, like, you got to be smarter than that. You live in Canada. It's mad woods and dark streets and things like that. You're just gonna show up somewhere.
Yeah,
come on.
Show up to McDonald's. She joked that she at least got a free Diet Coke. So we don't even know if he paid for her whole meal.
Didn't I say Miss Piggy? Talking about Diet Coke.
Bro, yeah, I thought the same thing. Not even gonna lie. She said, so stay safe out there. She showed up. Obviously, the date didn't work out. But do you think that's a good workaround? Not even to say where you're going, just to give the address. I mean, you would think most people would Google it, but she didn't do it.
I mean, I think for a guy, if you're about to take her somewhere fly, that could be dope. You know, just drop the pin and then send it to her or something like that. And then she gets there and it's a nice restaurant or it's a dope like music venue or I don't know, something. But McDonald's, yeah, not the best. But at the same time, maybe it's just something casual.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never gone. I can't think of me going on a date to like.
We took some girls to McDonald's before.
Oh,
you
my
remember
God.
that?
We did, but that was under some unusual circumstances.
It was, but that was a good time either way.
Yeah, they still came back, but I mean, nothing happened. We played games.
Yeah, we played games.
Honestly, I wish I would have took the sleep over that, but hey, we had some good stories. Shout out to Kentucky. Oh man,
that's really funny. But yeah, I don't definitely not McDonald's. You can't do McDonald's.
Yeah.
If you feel the need, either from a financial standpoint or because you're just not that invested in going on a date with her that you want to just go to McDonald's, just stop.
Yeah,
just stop dating or talking to that individual or whatever it is. Just stop whatever you're doing.
Be more creative, honestly. Like I said last week, go to happy hour. You know, go to Applebee's. You know, when I was in high school, I used to do that 2 for $20, like all the time. That shit was a cheat code.
Yo, you know, I walked by Applebee's by my job yesterday,
shit.
And that shit said 2 for $32. I was like, what? The fuck? Like,
2 for $32.
New York is on some different shit.
That is inflation prices. God damn. Wow. Well, if you get some Dollaritas with that, that's not a bad deal.
That's true. That is true. And I do think they have like a lunchtime special too.
Damn.
For like, people at work and stuff. But no.
Yeah, I was rewatching last week's episode, and I regretted not asking you when we talked about the story of the girl who asked for a reference. Like, you said you'd be cool with it. Like, who would be your reference? Like, who would you even ask? Who would be your female reference?
Oh, that is a good question. I feel like there's a few people I could ask. I could ask some old coworkers that I still communicate with from my time at Kane. I could ask. If I really wanted, I could ask Jenna, I guess, would be dope. She's known me a long time. Jenna would probably think that shit is hilarious, though. And then talk smack about me.
You would trust Jenna? Like,
yeah, I would trust Jenna. If she would really, like, tank it for me, like, give me a bad reference, that would be nuts.
No, you know, a lot of people everyone trusts Jenna. You know, she would do you right, but she would definitely make fun of you. Like,
yeah, exactly. And that's what I would expect. But, I could ask my sister. I could ask a couple of different sisters. I could ask. There's a few people.
Damn, I just find it hard. Like, I couldn't ask any of my sisters like to do that for me before I met someone, because it's like I need to vet the person before I bring them to my family. I don't know, but I was just watching. I was just curious because I didn't know. I was like, who? I was like, that's Cap. I don't believe he would ever do it, but hey, you seem like you actually would.
I would definitely think it was weird and different. Gen Zeno says, "I got you, B. Ryan." But if I was really interested in that woman, I would have no problems doing that. Yeah. Like, as it is, we got to jump through hoops. Like, that's just what you got to do sometimes. So if it was the right one, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find the right one. You know, this one girl, Jana Hawking. I think she's a blogger. You know, she does these blogs all the time. I think we talked about her before.
Really?
Yeah, but she's located out in Sydney, Australia. Shout out to our Australian fans and subscribers. You know, we met a few Australians out in the streets in New York a couple of months ago. But last week, Jana was out to drinks with her friends, like a couple girlfriends that she had just met recently, you know, a little cocktail bonding. She says, halfway through our drinks, my ex texted me out the blue. So, of course, it came up in the conversation. She says, as I read his name, both of them laughed. Turns out all of us had relations with this man. Jeez. One of my friends shouted, "Oh, We're spit sisters. I never even heard of this term until this article. And
This is why they be saying Australians are mad freaky, because they be fucking all the same people, apparently.
Oh my God, so yeah, they're spit sisters. Like a spit sisters are, two people, two women who have relations with the same guy, at different times. This was interesting to me. She said Sydney is one hot mess of a dating scene right now. She said, especially if you're over the age of 30, because there's more chance that you've dated the same guys as your friends. Talking to a friend today about it, she laughed and said that's why she had to leave her country town. She realized she had dated all the good ones, and so had her friends. Man, she also referenced a famous guy who'd been in her DMs, and he subtly did a plot twist and asked her friend out after he saw her in some of her pics and decided that she was the better option. Damn, it's a cold world out there, man. We talked about this on the streets. We met up with some Australians, and we asked, like, would you rather hook up with, one of your friends' exes or your ex's friends? And everyone said, my ex's friends. But it seems like they're friends. They're friends hooked up with their exes all the time. They're spit sisters. We have Eskimo brothers.
I never heard of that before. Have you heard this before?
Never. Have you ever encountered, do you have any spit sisters out there? And do they know about it?
Well, you mean, wait, what? Like Eskimo bros?
No, I'm saying, like, are there any women out there who are friends who may be like, oh.
No. In college, yes.
It always happens in college.
Yeah, in college, yes. But that was, it did not turn out well. Yeah. At all. I lost both of them.
Oh, damn. That's it happens.
Yeah, because I was hiding it. But it in college, it's like a closed environment. And I went to a school with, at the time, I think there was like maybe 5,000, 7,000 students, something like that. So in your grade, and if you stay on campus, it's not like that many people. Yeah. It's not. So things get around.
Yeah, I went to school with 40,000 people. And yeah, one time
still happens.
Oh, it happened a lot. But the worst time it happened was at a party. Like, I was like 19. I think it was a long time ago. Okay. And I remember it was a wild party because I ended up leaving with one girl and being in her dorm, and the next morning, and her friend texted her the next morning. She was like, "Oh, I hooked up with Julian," and I was in the bed with the other girl.
Oh man.
And she was like, "Oh," she said she hooked up with you, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, that did happen. My bad." But we were all good.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh man, shout out to Rutgers University. But yeah, shout out to all the spit sisters out there. I mean, it is tough. Like, as you get older, you just got to accept that people have dated other people, especially if it is like a common friend group or a small town, or just common acquaintances. If you're in a big city like New York, you don't have to worry so much about it because you can always meet new people and not be in the same circles. But shit happens.
All American, they call it the Vortex because they keep all the same characters, of course, in that show, and they're all like in college and things like that now, and they just like basically rotate partners. It's the weirdest thing, but somehow the writers make it look cool. and they call it the Vortex.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens sometimes. I feel like men are used to being Eskimo brothers. I know we've seen Eskimo brothers who are unbeknownst because of social media. You just be seeing people like, oh shit. It's wild out here. So once you find you a good one, lock it down.
You're looking at her, looking at the social media posts like, that's your queen. Oh man, bro.
Damn, it is what it is. Like, people change. Drea deleted her wholeness. Joe Smith's wife, She retrieved her whole nip.
So did Black China, remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Shit, Kim doing it too. She cut her ass off.
Yeah, and she got a deal with the NBA, man, with Skims.
Dude, the first thing I saw when somebody posted that, the first comment was the WNBA was right there. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, who do you think Kim has more experience with?
Oh, oh, that was good. That was good.
Yo, what did you think about her nipple bras with the hard nipples?
I haven't seen them, but I'm gonna look right now.
Really, you haven't seen it yet? So Kim, you know, she did a little photo shoot. She had glasses on, looking like a secretary with this tight shirt on, over top of her bras with the nipples poking out to make it look like, you know, she has hard nipples. People thought this was a joke, but
wait, it's a
real.
bra that already has the indents put in there so that it looks like her nips are hard?
Yes.
Y'all just be doing anything to look like hoes. It's crazy.
Does that make you look like a hoe?
No, but it's like if you're gonna free the nip and like not wear a bra, then don't wear a bra. But if you got saggy titties and you can't afford to do that because it's gonna look crazy, then wear the bra and don't worry about your nips not showing. Like, what are we? We just want to make everything for everybody, and it shouldn't be.
What's real anymore is my question. It's like even people have fake nipples, like fake everything. That's crazy. But shout out to Kim, man.
I gotta ask Nat how she feels about this. I think she's gonna take exception to this because sometimes she don't be wearing a bra just because, you know, she want to be free and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know, you should wear one with that. And she's like, no. And I'm like, all right, fine.
It's gonna be a good compromise.
But yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. Shout out to Kim, making big moves out there with the fake nips. Yo, these thrift
this
stores.
This is just another deception for the men.
Yeah. Did you watch Joe Budden's podcast today? He was like, "Would you want to live in a world without deception?"
I only caught part of it.
What kind of psycho question is that? Like, hopefully.
I mean, that's a good question. Where everything is just the raw, unadulterated truth. I don't know. That might be too real.
I would love to live in a world without deception. That's why I'm wearing this shirt, yo. Cornell West 2024. He keeps it real.
That shirt is deceiving, though, because it looks like he's a lion.
The heart of a lion, man. Shout out to Cornell West. And, yeah, fuck deception. Like, who benefits from deception? Like, I'm not cool with that, but, you know.
No possible deception?
No. Like, let's all keep it real. Let's all stand in the truth and actually resolve some problems. You know, I feel like deception is used to prolong things. And, you know.
I feel like if a lot of people had to face reality, they would unalive themselves.
I'm not going to comment on my opinion on that. Let's just move on.
Listen, because it gets deeper and darker real quick when we take away deception. So,
oh, my God.
I'm just saying.
These cops were actually deceived in Washington State.
Speaking of deception.
When they responded to a call about a human skeleton. You know, that was actually a skull-shaped beer bong.
Oh, man. What?
Yeah, they actually brought out, you know, the detectives in the cave on jet skis. They jumped into the water and swarmed the lake to investigate this, to only pull out the fucking spinal beer bong. Like, we talked about the sex doll last week being mistaken for a dead body. Mm-hmm. Now we got a beer bong.
That actually looks really cool too.
You want to get it?
I would. That's too much bong for me. Pause. But it definitely looks cool. I know those cops kept it though.
Yeah.
You know they're good for that.
That shit's nasty.
I mean, you wash it up, you'd be fine.
That's what the people who were donating sex toys at the thrift store said. Oh man.
Oh, the Segway king over here.
These thrift stores, man, they've been left in a sticky situation after customers won't stop donating used sex toys, you know?
There's some weird shit going on in the UK, man.
Yeah. Yeah, these were in the UK, and, you know, these thrift stores are saying, could those of you who kindly donate, please be mindful that we are a children's charity. And as such, we have a range of ages on our wonderful volunteer team. You know, we therefore ask that you refrain from donating your used and unused material aids.
Marital aids.
Oh, marital aids. Yeah, that's one way to put it. We're always hugely appreciative of donations from the community, but it's fair to say that these items aren't quite the sorts of toys we are looking for. Damn, man. Who the hell is donating sex toys to thrift stores? That's gross.
The craziest part, though, they were like, these items can be traced back to their owners. Like, they're trying to threaten them. If you keep sending these shits in, we're sending the cops.
They said they have security footage on who donates what. Like, that's crazy.
Man.
Do you think that they actually, like, thought that these sex toys were actually toys and, you know, put them out? Or, like, who would even do this? That's strange. Do you think that people are doing this as a prank? Or do you think that they think, oh, someone else could use this?
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it is a prank if they're doing it in such numbers that it's like, why is this happening? But that's strange. If you don't want it anymore, just throw it out.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the roommate who stole,
Oh, yeah.
was still her
Yeah,
roommate's
that's nasty.
vibrator.
Using that shit. She ain't even clean it later.
Yeah.
Nasty girl. Nasty girl.
Yeah. And so, I don't know, maybe some people are more open to sharing these types of toys. People let us know, would you take a used sex toy?
There's no way, dog. There's no.
Yeah, that was a little bit gross.
I feel like the only thing that could be used is like the fluffy handcuffs or like something like that. Like you could use that with multiple partners, but other than that, nah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say refrain from that. You know, I really want to know who the people are who are doing that too, because I want to talk to them. Like, what were you thinking? Like,
Yeah.
But shout out to them for donating in the first place.
Thanks for your contribution, but please refrain.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
What's something else that you would definitely not want somebody's like hand-me-downs, or you wouldn't want to see that in a thrift shop? You'd be like, this is disgusting.
I don't know. Probably most things. Most people's outfits are disgusting too. Like, I don't want none of your clothes, y'all bum ass motherfuckers. Keep that shit to yourself.
You're not a fan of thrift shopping? You can find some good shit in the city depending on what thrift store you go to.
I've heard, and that is something I should check out. I'm sure I could get some really nice flannels, you know, and some good winter items, some sweaters. I know Jenna got a nice fur coat a couple of years ago, so I'm open. I'm open to it. I just don't do it. Troy, have you ever gone thrift shopping?
Yeah, I have. My fiance loves going thrift shopping, so we'll go like, you know, once a month, or we used to go once a month, and she'd find some cool stuff, and I would find some cool, you know, some cool button-ups and stuff occasionally. So
Nice.
I definitely support it, but I think that's the most I would get, probably like a nice shirt or something.
Yeah.
No sex toys?
No.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Have you
That's
ever
fair.
gone, Brian? Have you ever done thrift
I
shopping?
have. Nat and I, we went maybe a few weeks back or a month back. We were in the city trying to kill some time, and we like were walking around and saw a thrift spot. When I went to Texas to visit Champ, we needed to get like University of Texas Austin shirts because we didn't have any, and we were going to the game. So we went in. They had like bags and bags of shirts,
Oh,
and
nice.
we just like found some.
That's when they called you Andrew Tate.
Yes, unfortunately. Don't remind me. So I go occasionally, but I feel like the first thing I notice when I go into a thrift store is the smell. If the smell is like janky or like it's just like it smells like old used clothes, I'm walking out. and I'm not buying anything. If it smells clean, then I'm like, okay, I'll take some time, look in here, see what they have. But that I've got too big a nose. Like smells affect me strongly. They really do.
Yeah, you can smell a used sex toy from a mile away.
Hey, Macklemore, can we go to shopping?
Oh shit! Remember this?
Oh my God.
I can't even play the full song because they're gonna kick us off.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Macklemore and all the thrift shops.
This song was so hot too.
I know. It was actually a good song. Yeah, I wish I could play full songs for you guys, but it's all good. We don't want to get kicked off.
Exactly.
We have enough problems, but it's all good, man. The clocks go back this weekend. We get an extra hour of sleep. It's gonna get dark way sooner. Before we end, I just want to, shout out Troy. Him and his kickball team made it to the playoffs, yo.
Woo! Tell us a little bit about the final game, how you got into the playoffs, how'd it go?
That final game was a trap game for sure. We faced the worst team in the league, and I think we won 13-11. Wow. So it was way too close for comfort. Our team, they got lax. They got lazy. They thought it was gonna be a walk-in. Me, I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Mets fan. I see these trap games coming a mile away. So I'm like, okay, I've seen this story before. I need to focus. So I'm just trying to keep the team motivation up, and luckily we were able to pull out the dub. And then we got the champion. We have the playoffs and championship game tomorrow. So hopefully we'll play 2 games, come home with 2 dubs, and we'll be kickball champions finally.
Wow, let's go.
Yeah,
2 W's. We are definitely keeping you in our thoughts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow. We're gonna
Tomorrow night, 8
follow,
o'clock.
follow up next week, and hopefully we got a champ. We got a kickball.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and what? Both games are tomorrow?
Yes, both games. So it's kind of like
back to
brackets. So
back.
the first game is at 7 o'clock with I think like the 3 and 4 seed.
Oh wow.
And then the 8 o'clock game is at the 1 and 2 seed, and then the championship is the winner of both of those games.
Wow,
Yep.
that's intense, man. Good luck.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Bring that trophy back home. Yeah, man. Speaking of the Jets, man, I saw the worst football game ever on Sunday. The Jets and Giants, they punted the ball like 30 times.
Insane.
The Giants somehow
Insane.
lost the game. It went into overtime.
Dog, it said that they were like 99.9% likely to win that game with a minute left.
They didn't throw the football the whole second half.
They had negative passing yards.
Oh, that's
Negative
insane.
9 yards with 2 quarterbacks that they used.
Troy, did you celebrate the win of the Battle of New Jersey?
Celebration is a strong word. I was relieved and just happy that game was over. I actually watched it at Zeppelin Hall, the beer garden, right by my
How
apartment.
was that? Were there more Jets fans or
No,
Giants fans?
no. There were way more Giants fans, hostile environment. And there was this Jets fan there who something was definitely up with him. He was definitely like a little mentally off because he was like pacing around the game, which
'Cause he
I
was a
get.
Jets fan, or no?
Probably, yeah. The Jets did it to him. And he's like having a hard time during the game. But during the second to last Zach Wilson drive, when he got sacked on like that 4th down, which obviously you can't do, he literally had a glass of beer and smashed it on the ground and ran out of the bar. He was so upset.
He had too much money on that
Yeah,
game.
he was. I don't know, man. He had too much brain power on the game or something. But like,
He
he
probably was
booked it out of
drinking on
there.
his meds, man.
Yeah, it was something weird where like it was making everybody in the bar uncomfortable because he was like talking to himself, muttering like. He was not all the way there, but he broke his glass and just booked it. Left his cell phone, left all of his stuff there. And just,
Wait, he left his stuff?
Yeah, he just because he had to get out of there. He just broke his glass. Everyone's like, "Wait, what the hell is happening?" And then they're looking at him, and he just panicked and just booked it. And I was like,
Did he come back for a
No,
Oh.
not when I was there. I stayed for the game. I was upset too because that was a terrible play. But luckily the Jets got the dub, and I think I stayed for like an extra half hour. He never showed up.
Wow.
Wow, he left. They won. He did
missed
the
it.
right thing. He was like, I gotta get out of here. It's a bad omen. They pulled the win. They were the away team. People were out in the rain in ponchos. I feel bad for the Giants fans. No, I don't. Fuck them.
No.
For real. Y'all lost. You guys are terrible. I hope you don't get the top draft pick this year.
You know what's crazy? The Jets are 4-3,
Yep.
and they lost Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
It's always gonna be the season of what if.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
What
I'll take
if?
it.
I feel bad for him. I do.
For who?
For the Jets. Just because it's like you said, it's always going to be if only.
Yeah, we could easily be like, I wouldn't say like, a perfect season, but
No,
that
I could see
Cowboys
you guys
game,
being like the Eagles or like one of those 6-2 teams right now.
Exactly.
Like it's definitely, we'll see.
Yeah, it's tough, but they got the dub. Hopefully you get the dub tomorrow. We'll be back next week, guys. It was a great live today. We had a lot to catch up on with Halloweekend. We talked about all the famous people's costumes. Ice Spice, Don Lemon, DeAndre Jordan. Khloe Kardashian as a black woman. We talked about R.I.P. Matthew Perry, Friends, Taylor Swift, Magic Johnson as Billionaires, Marcus Jordan asking his dad to be the best man to his wedding. To Larsa Pippen. Joe Smith's wife doing OnlyFans, the battle of the baddest Fury and Ngannou, Brett Favre losing to Shannon Sharpe, Flavor Flav's national anthem, a bunch of dating shit, and, our personal firsthand experiences, and, all for you guys. So thank you all for joining us,
That's
man.
right.
And, daylight savings is coming up. Holidays are coming up. It's getting colder. Man.
That's right.
This year flew by.
Yeah, and if you've made it this far in the broadcast, make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button. We're available on all platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, anywhere that you catch your live content. And don't forget the Spotify and Google Podcasts, YouTube Music channels as well.
Yes, sir. We are everywhere on all platforms. Follow, subscribe, DM us if you guys want to join in next week. We talk about everything relevant. If you guys have any topics, let us know. If you guys want advice on anything, we love to give it. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Thanks for everyone's support. Stay safe. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace.